Hi, Richard Tomson here from behind the scenes of my movie Bob. This is how I created the UFO. First I sketched everything out in 1-2 3D design from Autodesk. Then I printed the whole thing with my 3D printer. This is in five pieces, and this one is one of the pieces. So you can see it's like a cake. You see it in the light. Spray. I'm gonna take this one. All right, now it's dry. I'm gonna smooth it down with some 120 grit sandpaper. I started, but most of it just sticks in the paper. So I used a bunch of these. So it's just to continue. This is the interesting part. Really interesting, and I'm sorry for showing this so fast, but no, I'm kidding. This is the most boring thing in the whole project. It's sanding all the layers away from the 3D print. And I used some wall spackle to get it really smooth, because sanding it straight on the plastic didn't really help, so you have to put some other layers on. And here I'm painting it black just to get a gloss, and here is some really glossy white so you can see all the reflections. And here I assemble the whole thing, making sure everything fit together, and just watching the shine to it, so there's no signs of layers left. And here I'm using some spray can filler just to get an even surface. And here I'm just making sure all the exhaust pipes underneath is clear, so it's no paint inside. And again, sanding. Now I'm trying to make sure that the whole UFO looks like it's one piece instead of 5 pieces glued together. And it's just a matter of sanding and smoothing. So it's really fun to watch, but necessary to make it believable in the movie. And here I'm consulting with Robin Anderson, the sound guy, because you go nuts if you sit with this a whole day. It's a tedious job, and it's boring, and let's face it, nobody likes to sand things down. You just want to have the results of a good job when it's done. And here I'm finally done, so I spray it with black as a base color. And here I'm just dabbing the brown color on. It's just an acrylic paint, so the important thing is just to make it uneven. And of course, so you can't see the brush strokes, that's why I have a sponge, so I can dab it on. It makes it look like rust. Now it's starting to dry. Then I'm using a lighter brown, almost an orange. I think it's, I'm not sure if it's burnt umber or raw sienna I'm using. I'm not really sure. But this is just for the realism in the rust. So now I think I'm using some clear coat. I'm using a Dremel to destroy it. This UFO has been flying through space before it crashed down to Earth, of course. So it's been hit by a lot of meteors or rocks out in space, and of course the impact on Earth. Here I'm just going nuts with the Dremel, making some random spots. So here you can see I've destroyed the front of it, and Dremel is an amazing tool. You can use it to almost anything. And here I'm just putting on some brown color again, just the same thing, so I don't see the white from the other layers of paint. And to make a rust effect, I was looking at I think Stan Winston's school. They have good tutorials on how to make paint effects, and paint with water where you want the effect to be. And this is like a mask, like if you use a masking tape or anything like that, but in this case I'm using salt flakes, and it sticks to the water. Spraying the whole thing with some metallic paint. I think this was chrome, but it's not looking anything like it, but it was a nice metallic effect. So then just brush everything off when it's dry, and here I'm making even more scratches to it. It's all about layers. Everything, when you paint something, if you paint creatures, you paint modeled railroads or whatever, it's all about layers. You can't paint a car just green, or like in this case a UFO. You can't just spray it on with a silver metallic paint and say, oh look, this is complete. Here I'm just making sure that all the scratches looks good and the rust effect is where I want it, and making sure that it's the same amount of metallic on both the top and bottom. Time for some details with an ordinary brush. It's all the exhaust pipes in the bottom. It's supposed to look like some smoke that has stuck to the surface. And the last step is some more weathering, this time with a black wash. It's only black paint with a lot of water, and you let the paint find its way down in all the crevices and all the scratches, and it makes everything else really pop when you take your rag and you just wipe it off. So because the black paint will stay in all the small details. So then some clear coat, and it's done. Wow, that was a lot of sanding. I understand that you want to impress your girlfriend by making one of your own and have by your dinner table, or maybe as a lamp. No, I don't think this will impress your girlfriend one bit, I'm sorry to say. But maybe you can impress your kids, or making the project together. I've uploaded all these files to our website, so you can support our project by downloading them, and yeah, buy some sandpaper.